today at Kaylee's Corner. I'm so glad that you're here. I had another dream that I wanted to go ahead and share with you. I really felt like I got some really good revelation from this one. So I wanted to share it with you guys. Of course, always pray that it would bring you closer to Jesus and maybe give you some encouragement and some clarity, some revelation along the way. But of course, every person is on their own journey, and I know that that looks different for everybody. So I do encourage you to take it back to Him and of course ask Him for more clarity and more revelation and personal confirmation as to what this might look like in your own life and where you're at on your own journey with Him. But I did want to go ahead and share it with you and pray that it would bless some of you guys. So in this dream, I was supposed to be in a school play, and this is very different for me. I am not a theater kid. I know nothing really about being in a play at all. I grew up playing sports, so it was very different for me to be back in like my old high school and everything that I recognized, but I wasn't supposed to be in the sports. I was going to be in this play. And so of course I already felt very uncertain, had no idea what was going on, and was looking for some more answers. You know, what play is it? What part am I playing? What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to do? Definitely had no idea what was going on. And it seemed like everyone else was kind of in the same position. And even though they had all been in a play before and they kind of knew what to expect, they still, were in the same position of like, we don't have any answers. No one, like there hasn't been any auditions. We don't really know what's going on either. And so in the dream, that's kind of what like the whole part of it was, is I knew we were supposed to be performing that night, like at halftime or something for like this big sporting event, but we were like the performance, and we hadn't even like auditioned. We didn't have our costumes. We didn't know our lines. I knew absolutely nothing, but I did know we were supposed to be performing that night. And so like as the day went on and I got more and more anxious, more and more nervous, had no idea what I was supposed to be doing, and I had no idea how to prepare for it. And I think that's really what it was. It's like I know I should be preparing, but I don't know what I should be preparing for. And so as it finally came to the night of, like, we were all standing backstage, and I finally was like, does anyone know what's going on? Like, I feel so lost. I'm so out of the loop. Why in the world am I here? Like, this does not seem right. I'm supposed to be somewhere else. You guys at least know what you're doing. I have absolutely no prior knowledge. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And finally, about that time, the teacher, I guess, called me up and was like, okay, just read this page for me. And I was still thinking like, okay, what good is this gonna do? I'm supposed to have all these lines memorized and I'm supposed to be performing in like an hour. What is this going to do for me? And so they're like, okay, here's the script, read this one page, these couple paragraphs, and just here you go. And so I read through it, and it just like winged it. I had no idea what I was supposed to be doing. I just read it, I guess, out loud as I would. And then the next thing I knew, I guess I must have got the part. I don't know. And we were all out performing and like in the play. I guess I still had no idea, how dreams work, but I don't know what the point of the play was. I couldn't really tell you what the characters were or what the plot was. Still really have no idea. But I guess what the point of the play was is that it was a play that no one got to rehearse and no one got to know ahead of time. And so like that was what made the play different, was it was kind of like improv, I guess, but we had all just been handed the script like the night of, and so we were all supposed to just kind of go out there and wing it and read it and like kind of improv and like make it our own. And that was why they weren't giving us anything ahead of time, but none of us knew that that's what kind of the play was. And so I just remember like the whole time I just felt like I was like wandering around on stage, no idea what I was doing. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna read this, and now I'm gonna read this, and now I'm talking to this person, and like I guess like I just kind of went out there with confidence of like, this is all I've got, so I'm gonna do the best that I can with what I've been given, and we'll go from there, sort of thing. And by the, I guess it went well. I don't really remember, like that it was anything, but it was definitely none of us knew what we were doing, and that's what it was supposed to be. So apparently everyone else like in the audience was super excited and like really proud of us and like thought it was like a really great performance because we weren't just acting that we didn't know what we were doing. We really just didn't know what we were doing, but everyone else bought it and thought it was really great. And so like later that night or the next day, I don't know, I can't remember for sure in the dream how it worked, but I was like given this award for my performance, even though I felt very underqualified and felt like I did not know what I was doing and I was just winging it. Apparently, I did a really good job and they were like honoring me and like giving me this award for like the best performance of the night sort of thing. And I'm like, okay, first off, this is my first time ever being in a play. I had no prior knowledge. I didn't know what I was doing and I just kind of was winging it and making it up as I went. But I kind of did it with confidence and just went for it. And now I'm winning this award that I didn't even know was like possible. Thanks, I guess. And so then I woke up from the dream and I felt like really there was so much in the dream that I feel like I could talk about, but really what God was saying is what made me different in the dream and in the performance was that I was willing. It had nothing to do with that I had to know what I was doing. I didn't have to be educated in it. I didn't have to have any prior knowledge in it or any experience at all. All I had to do was be willing. And I was the most willing, apparently, because I went in with knowing nothing and I was like, all right, cool, just tell me where to go, tell me what to say, like I'm here, I'm yours, sort of thing. And apparently that's what like the award was for. I was very willing to just be whatever I needed to be. I wasn't trying, I wasn't trying to perform. I honestly, I wasn't. And that's why I thought I was like doing it wrong, was because I thought I was supposed to be performing and I was not performing at all. Because I wasn't trying to be anything. I was just out there. And so that's really what he was talking about, is like understanding that in this season, or at least, for me, I know some things that God's asking me to do, and I don't feel like I know what I'm doing, and I definitely feel a little foolish because it's new and I'm doing the best I can with the knowledge that I have, but I really have no experience, and so it's really scary and really uncertain to step out into it because I don't want to look foolish, but I also don't know what I'm doing, so I can't not look like I know what I'm doing, but I also want to look like I know what I'm doing at the same time. And so I really feel like that's what he was saying, at least for me personally, is just go out and be willing. Just go and be willing. Let your heart be open and be willing to say what I tell you to say, to go where I tell you to go. And just be willing to honestly to look like you're new at what you're doing. And that's hard for me because I definitely want to know what I'm doing. I want to look like I know what I'm doing, and I want to actually be good at what I'm doing. And when you're trying new things, you can't just jump into the middle of it, because even if you've gone to school for it and you have some education and some knowledge, it's still very different than like the real world of doing it and performing it and experiencing it. And so that's what I'm getting stuck in, is it's like, God, I just don't feel like I don't want to look funny. I don't want to look like I don't know what I'm doing. And then he just kept encouraging me to just be willing and to just go out and try. You don't have to perform, and you're actually going to do a lot better of a job than you think you will, because you're going to be authentic and you aren't trying so hard, and it's going to work out because you're not trying and you're not performing. You're just simply being, and you're open and you're willing, and I can work through that. So I pray that this is encouraging to you guys, and if it's applicable in your life at all, of course, take it back to God, but just have an open and willing heart for him to use you, and you're going to do a lot better job than you think you are, and you don't have to perform, and you're still going to be awarded and blessed for just simply stepping out and trying and being obedient and being faithful, and God can use anything that you give him. So I pray that this blesses you, or at least just gives you some encouragement on the journey you're on. And I pray you have a blessed rest of your day, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.